finally. Welcome into our favorite podcast of all time, the National Electric Code Deathmatch Podcast. Thanks so much. Broncos get a win. Sorry. I'm losing my voice over here. I was yelling so loud. James, he called me earlier. I was sitting there yelling a touchdown. I called the exact score. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. This is so awesome. I'm Willie Snyder with Nat King Code, joined by my awesome co-host, Mr. King James Stallcup, inventor of the best online education you could get, period. There's no other better out there. And of course, we have one of our good friends coming in. We got Daniel J jumping in here already. So he's already busting on the old Cowboys already.
It's a good day. Cowboys won. I went and played golf, shot a 76. I'm doing good today. And plus, I got home in enough time to do a few things on the learning management system to get ready for that and everything. And y'all are going to get to see it tonight. But we also have another. Let me go ahead and play this here real quick.
Yeah, we just hit 30. We hit 29.99 thousand, so we're real close to 30,000. But we're like 30
a
people.
Couple shorts. I was like, I'll just keep it like that. We're gonna be at 30 here tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, it's all good. So just to get you guys all in the loop, I made this code group. I got kicked out of one of the code groups, and I was like, "Fuck you guys! I'll make my own." And so I made my own, and I just made it as a joke. And me and James just kind of made it as a joke, joking around. And then next thing you know, 30,000 members. We have really good discussions in there, bringing it to a high level in there. I'll let anything fly through, not just all code. I let some things go through, people like getting hired for jobs and stuff like that. But it's all due to electricians working electrical, and it's a lot of fun. So I appreciate everyone, all you 30,000 members, badass. We want to try to keep at a high level, and we're going to keep just pushing forward for 2025. And like I say, there's a lot of hate mail that we've been getting over the last 4 years, and it hasn't stopped us, man. We're still rolling forward. Everyone's called us a bunch of names, and you know what? Not slowing us down. We're still here. We're still bringing the heat. And like I say, I feel honored when you said that you wanted to do a podcast. I was like, yeah. I was like, this is awesome. And then what do? I mean, instantly they come out with their own podcast saying I'm just trying to latch on to educators and all this shit. So what does that mean? That means you're an educator. So you know what I mean? Like that's a good thing.
They said I wasn't.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to latch on to educators. I'm not trying to latch on to anything else. But, the thing is that to me, I kind of had my own thing going before I met you. You kind of got to kind of preview what I had going with my Nat King Code page. And it was a little bit different than what you were doing. And it was real fun. It kind of worked as far as like what we were trying to do and kind of mix together. And like I say, you're Cowboys, I'm Broncos, it's not going to really mix because, we're the new America's team, but we'll see. we might actually, make the playoffs here, but we'll see what happens, we got like a 91% chance now, but,
I was going to say, what the hell, I showed previews, with stuff. And I had certain things I wasn't going looking at, and I was going through. When I got home, I was getting stuff ready for podcast stuff, and I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, who the hell are these people on here? And all of a sudden, there's people already signed up on the site, and I've already sold 5 products. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even know it because I've been doing other things. I hadn't been looking at the dashboards and stuff, and I was like, they've been watching the podcast and showing the things are on there, and I've had already purchased. I was like, I can't believe I already sold like $140. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I was showing Dad. He goes, well, you know what the worst part is? I don't even have any of it linked to the account it's supposed to go into. It's just sitting there. I ain't even done that yet.
All right. Well, no, Daniel's right. Freaking Broncos Chargers, that's gonna be huge. Like that's a must win for us. But at the same time, like I don't think it's like a do or die if we do win or not. But it's gonna be a battle of coaches when it comes to Sean Payton and you know that kind of stuff's gonna really we're gonna see. It's the battle of the big boys right there. That's basically a playoff game coming on Thursday. Yep. So we'll see how it goes. I'm actually in the playoffs, so fantasy playoffs. Thank you so much, everyone, for inviting me to your fantasy team so I could wreck it and win the playoffs. But it was a lot of fun. Like I'm just joking a lot, but it was a lot of fun doing fantasy football this season, and I really appreciate everyone joining us Monday Morning Coach Show.
Yep,
really awesome, man, really awesome. And like I say, all you electricians out there, you guys better buckle up your hard hat, because now you have to have a chin strap on your hard hat now. You better put that chin strap on, because it's gonna get blown off by what King James has set up for us this week. And like I say, he's put me and Daniel on the hot seat, so you better be ready, Daniel, because we're gonna get some answers wrong tonight. But it's all in good fun, and like I say, it doesn't matter if they're first year apprentice questions or they're fourth year apprentice questions. It's about what we want to push in our narrative that we've been pushing for the last 4 years. Just try to have quality education. Try not to push that salesman agenda of like products we want to sell, and just just the learning of the code, and try not to have all that salesman bullshit in there, because that's the number one thing that's been driving us crazy since day one.
Sure.
And like I say, it's a lot of people have said that the NEC is getting more towards sales, and I was like, nah, that's not true. I submitted a bunch of public inputs, and we'll see. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping that I was right, that we are going to have a book of integrity and high learning, and that's what we want to promote with the NEC deathmatch.
Yep. And speaking of that, let's dive into it. You ready?
All right, yeah.
All right, let me get over share screen so I can show everybody what we have. And there has been quite a bit. The thing I want to point out about this is really 5 years in the making. So there's been a lot of work done on this. A lot of time has been spent on it, and lots of money has been put into it. But one of the cool things that we have here is when you get into the site and everything, naturally one of the things that's going to happen is you're going to come in, you're going to create an account, and once you create an account, then you have access to everything. And the reason that has to happen is because I got to have an account, know the name and everything if you enter the contest. So, one way or other, to go through and actually use the site, you're going to have to do this. Now,
so all those colors that you have represented there, those are all different of your publications, right?
Right. That's just a quick one of a few of the books there. Like we have the yellow on there on the side of one of them, that's your lightning protection. The purple is for the journeyman, the orange is for the generator, transform motor, and the green, of course, is for grounding and bonding. So
Right.
we have, and all of our covers are going to be similar to this from now on. This is the new covers we came out with and everything, and the publisher and everybody liked them when I developed them. They said, "Yeah, let's just use those. We like those." So when you come in and you look at this, basically, we have a thing here that says get started now, find out more. You can go check on all that all you want. But right here is where we come in and we tell you about all the options. And it basically really is endless of what we're going to be able to provide here. And everything will be done in series. So if you want to go look, if you want the generators, we got a series on that. You want transformers, there's a series on that. Motors, there's a series on that. The design book, we're updating those illustrations, but that'll be called the design series. Then we got a safety series that'll deal with 70E and our OSHA publications. And then we'll have another exam series. That'll be your journeyman and masters. So
Right.
we put a lot of emphasis deciding how we were going to design this. And we also, once you have all those series, and we have 3 other series that go with those series I just mentioned will go under. And the ones that we'll be looking at tonight, because I'm going to start working on the online here next, but will be the publication series. Now, the publication series is the cheaper version because that's just it's a PDF, but it's fully interactive, which I'm going to show tonight. And then the online course series, when I start bringing those out, we'll do another podcast because there is a ton of interactivity in those courses. So we'll spend a lot of time showing that and the things you can do. And then the other is the instructor series. Now, under the instructor series, you will have the publication series and online course series, but the difference is you also will have the presentation with it. And I'm going to show that tonight. And then, of course, we have the electrical blog. Matter of fact, I will provide links within these here. I haven't done this yet. But up here at the top, you have the blog. So if you come and check the blog here, you'll see I've already started this. Everything that we do with the podcast, these are going to be getting updated and everything put in. But if you want to come in and just look at what myths that we've done on the podcast on Thursday, here are all the myths right here. And I've only put 7 of them in at this point. By the time I finish, we're looking at you're around 100 and 40, 50 of them that'll be in here of all kinds of different myths. We also have the tool of the weeks that we've done. So you can come in here and check all the different tools and stuff. But just sort of show you what it looks like. Let me go back here. I want to show you the myth of the week.
So is there any idea that you have of how many different publications you have from the Stallcups that you could
by the
potentially
time
put
we're
in here?
finished, let me add them up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you got the design 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 publications
All right.
that we'll have on.
So just so everyone knows, there's 12 publications that they could break up into multiple sections, and you could purchase each one of those sections separately. So you're talking in the neighborhood of like 100 and some sections that you could split off and purchase separately, and have you with you out there in the job site, and that's going to help you out, and that's pretty awesome, James. I like that.
Yeah, I'm going to show that here in just a second. But let's say I look at the myth here, and I've done this. It takes me a while to do these because I have to upload them in. But say I look at this and apply manufacturer's instructions. It comes in, we have a little intro here telling about the High Voltage Live podcast and about the myth of the week and everything. Then you come down here and I have a link where you can join the High Voltage Live podcast, but I'm just going to play. You can go to the YouTube site, or you can just stay here if you want to. So right here, all you got to do is click, and then move it forward some. So
I'll start showing up right around
right
7.
here, you can
But I
increase the
think I'd be
size.
8
See
at,
that? And that is really awesome. So you can be at the YouTube site, or you can just be right here within our site, and you can enlarge that screen to full screen to watch everything. So I built all
that's
that in,
nice.
so it's quick to get to. And another thing that we're also going to have is we'll have different things we write about. So like right here, here's one for third party certification. This is an article. We're going to try to have at least one weekly, but at least every 2 weeks, that we're going to have an
Nice.
article. And then you can come through here and you can look, and we'll have write ups about it with illustrations. Everything is laid out. These are strictly written by Data. So
Nice.
we have, all you have to do is look, and then we'll even do things like this. These are other standards that you want to review when you're looking at this, and you're looking at this equipment and looking at listing and labeling and everything when you're doing third party certification. So
Nice.
we're going to have,
And you will have access to my blog that complains about different things that James posts to. So like it's not gonna just be me agreeing. Like, and then what's funny is to me when I'm disagreeing with King James, all I'm doing is I'm just playing devil's advocate and I'm actually agreeing with him. But it's a lot of fun because you get both sides of the argument.
for sure. And
And I like doing that. I like having those counter arguments.
now, right here is where you can also click. I mean, it goes back and forth. You can do it up here. There's a lot of places you can go, but uh, sort of like we got special expert testimony here that we do. We got consulting, training, all the different things we do. You can go over and click. If I wanted to look, say, because I do a lot of special expert testimony, you could just click this,
Hmm.
and it comes in, and it has the contacts, everything here. But we basically set up and tell you the process of setting up when we're doing special expert testimony. And then right here is the consulting services that are put in place and everything that's required. So when, say, I look at analysts and recommendations, we tell you about what we do as far as it's concerned with technical analysis, and then we do a compliance review to make sure that not only is it adherent to the national electrical codes, we also check local and state codes. So
Right.
it's just a whole thing here that just really there's just so much information in here. But
Yeah.
thing I want to show you also is when we get here, um, I want to come down here. This is just a bunch of information, but right here, you can go up here to different things that are set up here, online courses, publications, but I just recommend coming here. So right here, you're going to see your courses. I'm going to click on free courses. All right. Now, right
Oh
now,
snap!
I've got the death matches here. Okay. And when you look at this, I've already completed 100% complete, just going through checking everything over and over, make sure it's working right for the October questions. Now, this is going to change. Uh, I'm I'm actually taking this down tonight. Okay, this will not
Okay.
be available tonight because I'm changing. It'll be January questions because we're going to start at the first. Now,
Okay.
I do have the practice exam here. Okay, this is a free course.
Nice.
All you have to do is come down here. Like I'm already signed in. After you sign up, anything that's free, like I'm gonna put on here where you'll have one of them that we do for electrical codes and standards. I'm gonna have that for you for free, and it's a fully detailed layout. I mean, I've looked at other sites; they're charging you like $40 for it.
Good.
So we're giving it to you. So you can come on here and you can review it and see everything I'm about to show you. It works exactly the way I say it's going to work.
No,
Now,
so you actually sent me a free download PDF of like understanding the NEC And dude, that was stuff that I hadn't seen in anybody else's publications. Like it was really awesome. Like it had like sizing your conduits,
Oh yeah.
sizing your box sizes. Like there was like straight pulls, L pulls, like all kinds of stuff in there that I didn't see in anybody else's publications. That was just really subtle, and that was a free publication that I enjoyed that. I liked that a lot.
Yeah. Well, we've done quite a bit to this. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to enroll myself. Okay. I'm already signed in. So I'm just going to hit enroll.
Better not.
All right. I'm enrolled right here. I'm going to register for free. I'm done. It'll come up, tell me right here on the right, enjoy your new learning experience here. Here's your practice exam. Okay. Now, you can do it right there, continue, or you can scroll down here. And this is one you're going to get familiar with here in the white, because I'm going to show some stuff on it in a little bit. But I can come right here and just click on this and go to the practice exam. Now, when you get over here, it'll set up here. And then what's going to happen when you're ready, hit start. Now, you're going to notice this will change all the time, but you're going to see you got 30 minutes to do this. Okay. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to give everybody the questions. All right. But it said here you can answer and go through this. And I think I put 6 questions. I think I did 5 questions and 1 problem. Okay. So you can come in, you can do that. Now, let's go in and let's look here. What the hell am I doing? You're not supposed to be there. Oh, I know what. I went back to course page. That's why. Okay. Now, I'm going to come back here and I'm just going to look at, let's say, no, we'll do this. Right up here, see where it says me up here? Right here is my inbox. So the inbox comes in, I've got a message, and it's telling me things here, support your journey, blah, 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 the tech squad. Okay. They sent me a thing because I got signed up and all of that for what I'm going to do with this site. Now,
well, you messed up because you didn't get me set up so I could send you a real message and it'd be hilarious.
Well, these are things I'm
like it would be from Daniel. Like, hey, what's up with them Cowboys?
I tell you, when you see some of the things you're about to be able to do, it's going to be incredible. Now, one of the cool things here, you can come in, write stuff about you and all that. I just said, this is my professional experience. I've done these publications. These are my affiliations. I'm part of the electrical sections. These are all the committees I've been on. I was a past member of 70B, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, when you complete courses and everything, there will be achievement badges, stuff like that you can earn. But the one I want to show here is I'll just put this. Now, if you look, you'll see here's the practice exam right here. I just signed up for it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to look here is I want to look right here where it says generator, transformers, and motor publication. And this is for instructors. Okay. And this is a feature instructors are gonna love. And I've got a meeting that's going to take place Wednesday, and we're meeting with 3 different publishers on a Zoom call. And this is what they've been waiting on. They're waiting to see, because they're going to start going out to the junior colleges, community colleges, to the apprenticeships, and they're going to show this. Now, nice. I'm going to click on this. Now,
hey, so just a quick question. Is there a way that I could build the same page that you built, like for your accomplishments, your accreditations or whatever? Like,
oh yeah.
Like can we just build our own professional pages on there?
Yeah, it'll look just like this.
Because I know that you got like a little cheat code when it comes to your trophies and everything. Because I know I was gypped a few trophies on my setup, but
this is what you can do. Is this right here? You'll have about you, what you want to do. You can put your picture in here, whatever. I just put Stallcup, our logo there, and you can write about yourself here, and everybody can come
Nice.
in and see who you are and everything. And then all your courses and everything are set down here for you to have access to. So if I want to
Oh,
go
dude.
look at this now, right here, I can just hit continue, but I want to show you something a little bit better than that. If I scroll down, and I will tell you, y'all go look at all the competitions out there. I'm telling y'all right now, you will not have this type of access on those sites. This is the only one that does this. Now,
I'm pretty sure there's something better coming. I just don't want you to get all pumped up. Like, so far, yours is the best, but I just don't want you to get all comfortable
I
because
never
you
get
never know.
comfortable.
So,
You know, I'm never comfortable. I'm always pushing forward. Now,
something better could come.
looky here. I showed this the other day, but this is your publication, this first one right up here. And it tells you how many pages are. The motor was such a big chapter covering all the motors, it went into 2 parts. But right after that, you can come down, here's the presentation, and then we also have them as individual chapters if you want them. Now, what I want to look at, let's just say I want to look at motor presentation. All right, I'm just going to click part 1 here. Now watch this.
Oh, is this where the minimum is the maximum? No, I'm just kidding. No.
I actually have
I'm
that
just
on
joking.
there. But
yeah, I know.
Here's your first page. It took me straight there. Now watch this. This is something everybody's going to like. All right. So if you're an instructor, you can go right to the table of contents, which is the next part. And let's just say that I'm looking at this and I want to I'm going to be teaching overcurrent protection for individual motors. Okay. Nice. I'm going to click it. All right. There's my presentation is set up for this portion. And then I'm going to click right here. And then here's the table of contents for doing overcurrent protection. So let's just say that I'm going to look at sizing the minimum and next size inverse time circuit breakers. I'm just going to click it. It's going to take me right there. Okay.
That's a nice illustration, man.
Yeah, everything's detailed inside. I mean, we did a lot of work on these. Now, as you look at this, we're going to tell you you have a 50 horsepower motor. It's 3-phase, 460 volt design B. And what we're going to size is inverse time circuit breaker. Now, you're going to notice we have right there at the panel board, we tell you to look at 430.52C1, table 430.52C1. So basically what is going to happen here is, right, I'm going to go to the next slide on this and we're going to show you the calculation, but basically it's going to work like this. We're going to tell you, you have to find the amperage. So 430.6A1 per table 240.4G is going to tell you, being a 3-phase motor, you're going to have to look at table 430.250 and you're going to pick up 460 volts and then come across, pick up 50 horsepower. It's going to tell you it's good for 65 amps, and then you're going to work your way from there. So
just to let everyone know, 430 is the article in the NEC that deals with motors. So,
correct.
I don't want King James to just talk too fast and talk past you people, but just keeping it real, bro.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, like that's the section you're gonna look at. It's 430 for motors.
Yeah. Now, check this out. So we're going to show you how to do the calculation here, how to size the minimum and next size. Now, as an instructor, you can be teaching this to your students. You can be in the classroom and throwing this up on the screen where it's plugged in a projector, or you can be doing this online. We don't care how you do it. But as a student, what they're going to be looking at, let me show you this. So I'm going to look at overcurrent protection for individual motors, and this is what they'll be seeing.
So just letting you know, nowadays we don't put it on projector. What we do is we put it on a laptop and then we screen share it to a screen.
Okay.
I'll just get you into the.
Here you go. Now, this is what they're seeing.
Yeah.
So they can sit
Nice.
here and pay attention to everything that's going on. And and this is a cheap option here because you're doing it in PDF, but yet you can teach this as you're going through it, and they can have access to the publication here, and everything is contained here. Now, let me show you something else real quick. And this is something you're not going to see in the other platforms. Now, let's say
Right.
right here, you've got learners right here. What you can do is anybody that has this course is a learner here, and you can connect with them if you want. Okay.
Nice.
And you can discuss back and forth, and I'm going to show it in a minute, but I want to point out one other thing that makes this truly, truly unique compared to anything else.
So one thing I was gonna let you know too, King James, that I've done in the past, which I really like, is you could just project this onto a whiteboard, and then you could work the problems on the whiteboard,
Sure you
and
can.
that's a good way to do it.
And that's what makes this so awesome. But there's some other features here that I think everybody's going to be impressed with. Now,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that you're a junior college or apprenticeship, community college, whatever you are, and you call me or a publisher, and you say, we want to get this course right here. Just say you want it in PDF. It's a cheaper option for you and your students. And you tell me, look, we have this instructor, and he's got 20 people in the class, and we want this. I'd say, okay. Now, what is going to happen at that point is I'm going to clone this course. I've got to do a few extra little things, but I'm going to clone it. And then what I'm going to
The class size doesn't matter because that's based on the instructor.
yeah, it just
So
how many seats you have is what you pay for. It doesn't go up or
yeah,
down. It just that's what it is. And you say I want that, and so I'm going to clone it and I'm going to rename it. Okay, and then what's going to happen is there more likely way we'll set it up is a PO, and then you're going to send me the instructor and the students with all their emails, and then I'm going to create that course and I'm going to assign each one of those to there. Now, nobody else is ever going to see that course because it goes in private mode. So the only learners that will be here are that instructor and that student, which they'll all interconnect right at that point with this course. Now,
right.
once I do that, then right here you'll see this next tab right here. It's a discuss tab. Now, right here is where you can come in, type a message here. You can come in, you can share a picture. It could be an illustration, anything you want. You can come in, you can attach a file or video to this. So say, like for instance, and I know a lot of people are going to like to do this, but they'll find these on the internet. And if they don't have the video, they can put the email address or the web address that it's located at. And
Right.
what'll happen here is they can click at and go over there, and they may want to take and post something up. Say they were teaching a safety course and they wanted to show an arc flash incident. This is a way that you can do that. Now, as an instructor, you also have this available to you. Right here is where you can ask questions or start a poll. So I can say here, I can just look at something. Let me go over here and grab something as an example for everybody to see. But let's say that we're teaching something on the National Electrical Code, and I want to get somebody's I want them to answer a question. It's something I just want to see if they're, alert to it, let's say.
I got a good one for you.
What's that?
300.4G, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
are bushings required on PVC for number 4 and larger.
Well, when you go over and I can grab that, I'll show you an example here real quick. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to what we're doing right here. So I'm just gonna ask this question right here. So I'm just gonna copy this. All right. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here and I'm just gonna put this question here. I'm gonna take that number 4 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks pretty good. And then I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna put a choice here. Okay. So I'm gonna put 8, 6, 6, and then right here I'm gonna add a choice. I'm gonna put 4. Come on, get off of there. 4. I'm gonna add another choice, 2. All right.
Okay.
Now I've got this out here, and I'm just gonna share this. All right. And this is for my students here. And what they're going to do, they're going to come in, they're going to look at answering this. Okay, so I'll just say 4, I got it right. I've already got it set.
Nice.
And I can edit this here too. I can pin it to the top or whatever I want to do. So I can look, I'm going to say I'm going to edit that. That's it. I've got it. So you're just setting this, you're sharing everything.
So you just basically made a quiz for your students.
Yeah, that quick, and you can ask as many as you want. I'm gonna show here. Let's say, just give me 1 second. I'll show you something here so everybody can see this. All right. Now, here's one here. I'm just gonna grab this right here. Let me. I did it. There we go. I'm going to go to YouTube. That's where it's going to take me. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something here. All right. Now, what I'm going to do right here. Now, watch this. I'm just going to say, all right, this is what I want to do right here. I'm going to put another message here. All right. Arc flash video. All right. And then I'm going to I'll space it twice. There it is. I'm going to share it. Look at here. It pulls it automatically over and you can play it.
Wow.
And now watch. That's in the thing. Now watch this. All I have to do is right here. It should. I guess it doesn't let me do it for that because it's in.
An arc flash is an energy discharge of.
Right there, that's on YouTube, and you automatically have access to put that in there. Now, let's just say,
nice.
Right here, I want to attach a photo here. Okay, I'm just going to look at my documents here. I know what I have here, so I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look at 2023 books. Let's say I'm going to look at Journeyman here. I'm going to look at the JPEGs I've already created for it. I'm in Chapter 8. That'll probably be around 27, 28 right in there. I've got to go up. It's going to be further up than that. That might be it right there. So I'm just going to post this right here. Now look at here. I've inserted a video or an illustration here, and this is one that I could actually sit here and look at working that problem right there. That's how intuitive that this type of system is. And you're able to do this on all kinds of things.
And so for the instructors out there, you could just project this image onto like a whiteboard. Then you could just work the problems. Then you could erase it. You could put a new problem up there and not even erase the numbers. And most of them are going to be the same. You might have to just change 1 or 2. And that's what I really like about learning from you, King James, was how you're not really going to have to change very much when it comes to the mathematics. It's pretty simple.
And
pretty easy math.
And just like that, I deleted the posts that were there. It didn't take me any time to do it. Now,
right.
With that said, I will show some other things here. That's really just getting started on the things that you're going to have access to do here. Now, I'm going to show another portion. Up here at the top, you got a tag up here, which is the community. Now, right here in the community, we're going to have this set up. I'll have here anything that is in here, we'll have course discussions on this and these different publications right here. All right. Also, I'm going to set it up. If you want to discuss something on 70E, all you got to do is click. Everything is going to be set up. Then I got the National Electrical Code, and I have everything set up by chapter here. So if you're wanting to discuss something that's dealing with equipment general use, which is chapter 4, it's right here. Okay. And if you look, I'm in chapter 4. I've already linked an article here that we did on motor circuit breaker sizing here. So all you have to do is just click this and it'll take you right to it. Okay. So we're going to link the articles in here that go also with the blog. So you can go through here and see everything. Another tag that's going to be in here that we're about to add also is going to be the High Voltage Live podcast. And we're going to have the myth of the week, the topic of the week, and the tool of the week. So you can scroll through here also and link over to the blog if you want to do it that way. So everything will move back and forth throughout the system very quickly. Now, I will send you the RSS feed for the Nat King Code podcast, because I'm actually, just so everyone knows, gonna turn this into a podcast like tonight, and then I'll put it over on the Nat King Code podcast, so you can listen to it audio wise while you're at work, because not everyone wants to watch videos all the time, you know. No. A lot of times, if I have video on, I'm just listening. I'm not even watching the damn video. I'm just listening to what they're saying.
True.
Now, one of the things we do here is, this is the full publication series. So this is where you get the whole publication. This is the more expensive one than the individual. But once you get through that, you can come down here and you can come in and just say, I want to look at motors. I'm just going to give you an example here. Now, as you look at this, depending on the size, of course, and what it is, you'll see if I just want to learn about overcurrent protection for individual motors, 1995. But if I want to come in and get the full motor publication, it's $79.95. Okay?
Right.
If I want to learn about motor feeder and branch circuit gunner, this is a big chapter. It's $24.95. But if you purchase them all individually, I mean, you can just do it at your own time. You can do it that way. And that's what I tell everybody. Go check the competition and anybody else out there and see if they allow you to do this. Okay?
And what I'm trying to condition James for is that there is possibly going to be some people that have better things. So I don't want him to get all hyped up. There is a chance that there is better things out there. We just haven't seen them yet. So it's kind of like going to the moon. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. There could be aliens there. You know, it's like going to Mars. There could be aliens on the surface of Mars. You know, we don't know, James. You have to open your mind to things that aren't we haven't seen yet. You know, so
never happened.
All right, I'm just getting you prepared. I just want you to be prepared. I don't want you to get surprised by some new material.
But as you look at this, these are all the full publications that'll be coming out within this coming next year. Specifically, the Designing Electrical Systems. Right now, we're updating electrical safety in the workplace, and it looks fantastic. We'll have that done here pretty soon. Now, I'm going to show another one here so everybody can see it. I'm just going to go over here to my profile again, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look at this grounding book. This is a fantastic publication. I'm just going to hit.
Yeah, just a cover alone should sell you.
I agree. All right, let's say I just, right here, you can be right at the full book right here. This is this. All right, right here, we have them in individual parts also. So let's just say I want to look at the grounding electrode system and grounding electrode conductor. All right?
Oh, you better not. You better just step up there, James.
Now, I'm going to go all the way back up here to the top on this. Now, as you're going through this, you can go through each page, but the thing you're going to do is right when you get here. Right here, here's all your topics that underline through this. So let's just say I want to go in and I want to look at, let's say, uh, and let's just go to auxiliary grounding electrodes. All right. It's going to take me there, take you right to the heading, and then you're going to see the illustrations that we've done here. And I want to point out as you're looking at this, you're going to see we highlight this so you can see it. We make sure, like around the conduit, we got the dotted lines. We want to make sure you see the white conductor and everything, but we also are pointing out here where the equipment grounds are for this and showing where all this is connected through here, but we're showing where an auxiliary ground was used over here at the motor. All right.
So this is a big gray area when it comes to like adding ATS, automatic transfer switch, because they're like, oh, you can't move the ground, you know. But the thing is, all you're doing is you're just adding an auxiliary ground to bond that equipment, you know. So just to give everyone a visual of this, we've seen this before. They've talked about this before in like the code meetings and stuff. That they're like, all right, everyone, hold hands and get your feet off the floor, you know. And so they're like, all right, cool, you guys are all bonded. Then they tell one person to touch the floor. And they say, all right, now you're grounded and bonded. And guess what? There's still no outlet. You know, like, that's the thing that's dumb about it. Like, when you see all these guys trying to push this whole outlet thing, the outlet doesn't go anywhere. Like, it's not a completed circuit.
Sure.
Like they sit there and go, oh, you can't have an outlet that, you know, there's no way that you can connect to a utilization equipment unless there is an outlet. But at the same time, it's like when you go into your illustrations, how detailed they are, that's what makes them awesome. You know, is that you can go in there and you could look at them, pick them apart, and you could say, nah, there's nothing saying that.
Well, another thing I'll point out, just as a good example, just look at this illustration. Look how many references are on that illustration. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 20 references there of different things to look at that would be additional information you might want to consider based on the way, because like right here, I'm going to a metal underground water pipe. Well, does that metal underground water pipe have to be supplemented? Yeah. So over here, we got all the sections here to tell you where that is. Does it have to be connected within 5 foot? Yeah. You got to have at least 10 or foot more in length. We got it there. We tell you all the sections to look at.
And it actually has to be supplemented twice per 250 53C1, I believe. But they say now, not only do you have to supplement the water pipe, but you have to supplement it again. And the thing is that you really don't if you have a Uper ground. And that's what we talked about before, is if you have that Uper ground, then you don't even need ground rods. Like, that's a good myth for me to run, is if you even need a ground rod if you have a Uper ground, because a lot of people think that you have to have everything. But if the engineer drawings say 2 ground rods and a Uper ground, then slap them all in, because that design drawings can be hard to ignore. So that's what we've been talking about too, King James, when we come into this, is a lot of these guys are like, you don't need drawings. It's like, no, you don't. But if you do have them, you have to go off of them.
Well, and I'll tell you, we just had, as a good example, we had got a call from the publisher, and there's a place there in California. There, one of the schools they're teaching lightning protection. We just we just came out with a book. What was it in the summertime? And they picked it up and they're using it in their courses now. And they called the publisher and told them that 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 lightning protection we did, they said that is the definitive guide now on lightning protection, and that's what they're going to be using in their courses. And
Nice.
they said we just wanted to call and let you know, they didn't know that or I, that how much they appreciate the publication. And just to sort of show you, that book's sold separate. But if you look here, we actually have this in the grounding. And if I come down here, individual chapters, and I click lightning protection, it's going to come in, it's going to size up and everything. I'm just going to come up here to the top. And you'll see we got.
Does it give you the NFPA standard on that?
NFPA 780, yeah, it's even on the cover of the book. Tells you what it's.
Well, no, I know, but I'm just saying where you're referencing it outside of the NEC.
Oh yeah, well I'll give you an. Let's just say I'm looking at common bonding of grounded systems here. Okay, this is my table of contents. I'm just going to click and go to it. All right, now right here it tells you this is based in NFPA 780 4.13, and you're going to see it says the things you need to look at, but it also references in there and it talks about the National Electrical Code and requiring surge protection devices and all of that stuff. And when you look at that and you pick up 17, if you come in here and look, we show you all the different type of grounding systems here that can be used. And then we come over here and show you the strike termination devices with the driven rod and basically what they do around buildings and stuff out of a ground ring, and they'll bond that into it. Now, it also will talk about bonding of metal bodies here. And you'll notice here, there's no NEC here. This is mainly NFPA 780, but we're telling you that all these metal parts have to be what? Bonded together. And then we get into your structural metallic systems, and these are where you get into high rises. And we basically show you how to set up the ground loop conductor on the bottom and on the interior here, and then working its way up from your striking devices from the top, bringing them down to bond around that whole building and creating a ground loop for the steel frame of that building.
So there was a podcast that me and King James did just based on this, on metal structures, and I was blown away. Like, when I saw it, dude, you were right. Like, you had it nailed when you tagged that NFPA 7080, because it said that is a metallic structure. And it gave you directions on how to bond that metallic structure to a concrete encased electrode. Yep. And it's funny because, like, all these freaking guys out there, they want to attack us, they want to attack you, they want to attack me. I don't care. I really don't care. But the thing that they're missing is that they're missing all these different NFPA standards that actually give us direction to do exactly what is supposed to be done. And if you have like I have a detached garage at my house, right? Well, it has 2 ground rods.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why is that? Because it's a separate structure from my house. And it's actually braced to its own structure. It's not braced to my house. Like, what would be the reason that I brace that to my house? I don't brace it to my house. I brace it to its own structure. And the thing is, why do I need 2 ground rods? Well, guess what? I don't have any cold water. I don't have any building steel. I don't have any Upert ground. So I have to do on my own supplemental. And the thing is, that's really not that hard, but they want to get mad because then you want to talk about wire size.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's petty. To me, that's ridiculous. I don't understand why they want to argue that.
No, they always got to argue about something. That just,
Mm-hmm.
if it's anything we say, it's wrong. So you know how they are.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
uh, if you look, like the other day you were talking about this, and we were talking about the arresters at the service equipment at the transformer.
Mm-hmm.
We show you the connections here to hook it up, but there's one I want to talk about, and this is important, and this is something you're not going to find in other publications, and we, especially when you get into like 70E and our OSHA standards and everything, or it's an NFPA standard. We spend a lot of time because of these companies and stuff that we worked with for many, many years, is we developed some very detailed annexes. And
Right.
like here, we give you lightning protection tips here, things you have to think about when you're getting into this. Then we come in and then we talk about also you got to concern yourself with static electricity, which is based on NFPA 77. Okay. Now check this out. Then we get into these tables here that we've set up. And a lot of people don't even know these tables here, but these are the tables used for sizing your down conductors for your air terminals for your grounding to the earth electrodes. So we get in and talk about if you have a solid or tubular type air terminal. There's things you got to look at, different diameters for those. A lot, and this is quick, fast information for you to look at. And then we also come in and we get in and we show you what is the average number of thunderstorm days per year, and these are the levels that are set up, and these points are put together here for you to look at. And then we also come in and we set up and show you where the resistance of ground is high, and all this is up here. So depending on the area you're working in, this is important to know what your resistance to ground is in these areas, especially when you're going to have lightning strikes and stuff. So as I'm showing you all this stuff, this is the difference between looking at a Stallcup publication and the others. These type of things you're not going to see. I'm just telling you, you're not, because I'm always keeping up with the competition, what they're doing, and seeing what they have, and I know what's in each one of those publications. They don't have this stuff. All right.
Yeah, so I don't want everyone to get like a false sense of hope. Like King James actually has the best publications that's ever been in the industry, but it's just a matter of time before something a little bit better comes forward.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to see like a comparison, Like, this is a good example. Like, he has the cover of his grounding and bonding up here. So,
cool looking, by the way.
Come to find out, the Soars actually just got a new one that came out that's actually dated the same date of 2023, and we haven't compared them yet. There's no comparison yet, and so there's going to be a lot of little things that we're going to have to go through for just in the future to compare these publications and make sure that you're right and you have the best in the world. But I just don't want you to get all cocky and think that you just have the best without, the comparison coming through yet. We still haven't seen it. I don't know why they have dragged their feet on, getting it through to us, but I'm pretty sure that's coming soon. I just want to let you know it's on the horizon. It could come through.
I'm still waiting on Jeremy's. It's whiteboard, so he won't send it to me. He sent me a link, and I went over there, and it didn't even work. I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And then he got all mad and just wouldn't talk to me anymore. But anyway,
Weed Man, he's a special guy, and the whole thing is that he's in the union, and we love the union. Like, if you guys want to join the union, go join the union. But if you want to be not organized, you don't have to organize. Like, to me, I don't understand why we can't all just be brothers. Why can't we be brothers of both sides of the fence, you know?
You'd think
And
you could, but they don't do it.
there's a reason, because they never stop their propaganda. It never ends for them. It's always nonstop propaganda. And to me, personally, that's why I love doing this with you, King James, because when you look at this cover right here, there's no propaganda there at all. You can see exactly what's happening. You're bracing to the earth.
Oh yeah. Now, the other thing that's coming, we're about to start kicking off first of the year after I get a few things done, and I'm gonna start, because I've already done probably about 70% of it. Will be for state CEUs. All right. So when you come over here, let's just say Colorado, since you're in Colorado, this is going to come in, and I've already set the prices. Now, take anybody that's in Colorado. You know, when you go look online and stuff, and you're wanting to purchase a course, it's usually pretty much around $200. This
So
course,
I think I want to say Colorado CEUs is $225 from Mike Holt.
oh, is it? Well, we're going to be $129.95.
Nice.
Okay, and everything will be based on the 2023 code changes. Now, if they accept by that time, when y'all are due for in 2026, which I'm sure they'll probably still just be on 2023 by then, but we will have the 2026 that will get submitted in 2026. But anybody that wants to take it in 2025, it will be based on the 2023. And right here, we got a write-up here about everything, talking about the professional education units and all of that. And then when you come down here, we have talks about the course, and we tell you what your requirements are. You have to complete 24 hours every 3 years. At least 4 have to be related to NEC, and a maximum of 4 hours of electrical safety. And usually when I submit, it'll all be on NEC. There won't even be any safety in there, because they don't require. The reason they do maximum 4 hours, because most of them only do 100 code changes. And I think in the last one we did, 216 or something like that. I was way over 24 hours. But
yeah, so keep in mind, there's going to be a certain level where King James is going to jip you on code changes.
That's right.
But you can't get worried about it. You just gotta, power forward. Just be like, all right, so I got 100 code changes for my 4 hours, and that's all it took. But at the same time, I really did appreciate that code lesson from you, King James. It was really fun, really good. I really felt like I learned a lot. And I liked it. Like, that was one of my better code change classes I've ever taken. And the whole reason why I said, hey, we should do this and make an NEC deathmatch, because I think it'd be fun. But, like I say, I know that you're going to get back with me on those, 20, I think it was 22 code changes that you jipped me on in 2020. But at the same time, we are actually coming on to a horizon that me and you didn't even imagine in 2020 with the 2023, 2026, and all the new changes that they're trying to propose. And I don't know, it's going to be rough. To me, honestly, I'm actually embarrassed with all the code changes that all the public inputs that we submitted, the way that they answered them. It's like they didn't answer them. They didn't answer them at all. Like, they're like, this is the connection of utilization equipment. It's like, okay, what does that mean? Where is that at? It still didn't give a location,
Yeah.
Like, they just act like they could just answer it, like, so nonchalant. And it just, nothing got answered, in my opinion, in 2026. So I don't know. I think our work's cut out ahead of us, but honestly, I'm interested to see what happens.
Well, the good thing is, we'll have everything now. In order to keep Bill from busting my chops, what I'm going to do is for Colorado is I'll have 24 hours, but I'm also going to include the code change course with it also. So you get all of it. So you'll have all of it. So now I know what Bill's going to do. He goes, there were no 70E in there. I was jibbed 4 hours of 70E.
Yeah. Dude, you like you're welcome, people that are taking the Colorado, but at the same time, the reason that you want the 70E in there, that's the only way you can be a qualified personnel.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. There's some states I have to do it, and I've already got enough material on that I can do that in my sleep. But anyway, the license renewal date, September 30th, 2026. I'll have that ready way before then when y'all get ready. The other thing, if you want to come down, you can come down to company here. You can see our privacy policy, term of use, cookie, all that. If you want to know about the company, just click about. It comes in here. It talks about us and everything, talks about the publications. And then we tell you to go look at the different things. We got really cool icons for all the publications and everything. And if you want to contact us, you can contact us here. Just put this in, leave your message. It'll pop right up to me. Everything will be done. And as far as here's our online courses. You'll notice here I haven't really done anything here yet because they're not ready. But I will slowly but surely be adding, and it'll look like this here where you have the full publication series. And then you can go and pick out what you want and everything. If I want to go over here and say, it'll look just like this right here. The online courses here will look like the publication. So let's say that I looked right here, just to give you an example. Let's say I looked at the motor series, for instance. I come down here and I want to look at purchasing the full motor book. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through here and I'm going to look at.
Did you say motor boat?
Motor boat. But,
no, just kidding.
It's not right here because these are individual chapters. So I got to go full publication. Okay. So if I'm here to full publication and I want to look at purchasing the generator transform motor compressor book, you'd come in here, it'll tell you it's $99.95. Okay, so basically, when you get it's a great price. But when you get the online course, will be close to $200. But you're also looking at online interactivity, and there's so much more that's in it. And we'll do another podcast show how all that works. But when you get to that point there, you can just do the PDFs or you can do the online course version. Now, what I think is going to happen more than anything is going to be right here is when we get ready and you're looking at the journeyman exam prep. Because, see, I'm not clicking over that yet because I haven't uploaded the new versions yet. But when you get to that and we have that online, basically what is set up in there is we have a video where it populates and I show you how to do it and I explain everything, blah, blah, blah. But the other thing that's in that is we have illustrations, and in those illustrations, all you have to do is click the blank and you fill in the value and you actually work the problem step by step. And then right below it, there's an answer key. You can check the answer key. Now, the other thing,
just letting you guys know that was my idea.
Yeah, you know how that got started is Dad had gone out of town for 2 weeks, and this is when we were redoing the journeyman, and I started looking at it, and I came up with this idea, and I worked my brother Billy at the time, and we created like
Yeah,
this
I'm your
box.
brother Billy, right?
Yeah,
I'm your brother Billy.
yeah. And we created a box with the illustration, and then we put known values and things. Then we created it's a like it was like a 3 column, and then we had the step by step procedure, and then I wrote it out and everything, and did fill in the blanks and stuff. Well, anyway, I'll never forget. Dad showed up, and he's looking at it. He came in that Monday, and he throws it down. He goes, "What the hell is this? This is not what I told you to do." And I said, he was mad, and I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Let me show you what it does, and then you tell me if you like it." And I said, We can do it either way, but I thought this would be a better way." And I said, say you're an instructor, and I had at that time we threw it up on the screen, and I had like you were talking about, a whiteboard, and I said, I'm looking at it, and I'm going through, and I'm filling in the values. He's sitting there watching it, and he looks at her, and he goes, "Hell, I guess that'll be all right." He didn't want to say great idea or nothing because it wasn't his, and he was like, that'll work." So that's how it got started. And then as I was developing the online course, and Bill has seen this before, uh, when you fill in the blanks over on the left hand side, I created another column that's built within the illustration, and I put what is called an NEC loop, and sometimes it could be in standard loop, but mainly for exam prep, it's NEC loop. And let's just say, like that motor I was looking at a while ago, I take you through all the sections you have to look at. So say I was doing the minimum next size inverse time circuit breaker. I put in there table 240.4G, which is going to refer you over to it. Then I take you to 430.6A1. Then I tell you go look at table 430.250. That's where you get the amperage for the motor. Then I tell you to go look at 430.52C1. And then I put table 430.52C1 because that's where you're going to get the percentage. It says you shall not exceed the calculated value. So that means you drop down. And then after that, it used to be exception 1, but now it's 430.52C1A. That automatically allows you to go up to the next size without doing any further calculation. And I have a loop there that you go straight through, that you know how to do that calculation. And I will promise
Yeah.
you won't see that in any other programs.
So we actually just give Daniel big ups. Thanks, Daniel, for joining. We have not confirmed or denied any kind of a code loop structure that's better or worse, but so far the code loop that King James has actually held up for, I think, probably 30 years, 40 years, something.
Yeah,
There's been a pretty solid code loop that you guys have had for all these years. I don't think anybody's copied it. I don't think anybody's done anything better than it. But, when you go look in the code loops that you just did, there's not that many people out there doing that kind of code loop.
well, and I'm going to tell you why. Because every cycle, you got to go back and look at all that stuff. Make sure the section hadn't changed or it's moved or something like that. And that's what I tell people. There's a lot of work goes into those publications to set them up like that. And that's why I'm always confident in saying, put something out there, let's compare. Because I know what we've done. Now, I want to show something else here. If you look here, let's just say I wanted to look at starting methods. Okay? You click this right here. It's going to come over, and you're going to see you can get that little portion of the publication if you just want to study and learn about the starting methods that are there for motors. It's only $9 or $10.
So that would be like heaters, what they call heaters.
Yeah, you can come down here, and let's say one that is a little more, but this is $50. This is connecting controls for operation and publication. That's actually for instructors. I don't want to do that. So let's go down here. I'm just going to hit motors, and here's my motors, all my different motor ones here you can look at. You just click through. So I'm going to look at troubleshooting. This is $24. Now, I don't have this in here, but I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna show you how powerful this publication is. So I'm gonna come down here. I'll just go to the instructor one, and I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna look at this. So I'm gonna come down. I'm looking at motors, and I'm looking at troubleshooting. So I'm just going to that chapter. I purchased this whole book. I think it's $90, $100, whatever it was. Now, I want everybody to see what you get into here. So let's scroll back up here at the top, and I'm just going to come up here to the Lincoln page here. Now, let's just pick something out. What do you want to look at there, Bill? You want to look at testing and finding the leads of a Delta motor? You want to do a universal motor? You want to?
Yeah, I really like that wedge motor thing that we did with just how do you figure out the points? Like, let's just say you have 1, 2, 3. Let's just say you have an 8-point or 12-point motor. How do you find those points on that motor?
Okay, let me go back. So when you come in, you look at this. We'll look at. Let's just go to Delta motor here. All right.
Yeah, I think it's a 8-point delta or a 12-point delta.
Yeah, this is a 9-point here that you're going through.
Or 9-point, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it was a 9-point. But we've got it set up here, and this is set up. Now, I want to show you something here. This talks about, you got the heading, testing and finding the leads of a Delta motor. Now, we go in, now, this could be one that's not even marked. And we're going to show you how easily it is to find the windings to resemble a delta triangle here. And we're going to tell you how to read the resistance in here based on the lead markings and what you should get. And then we set it up down here, and then you'll see it just keeps going on and on, telling you after properly marking the leads you think you got on this, these are other things that you need to see. Then once you get to that point, then you got the final readings here, and then we tell you here's another step to go back and double check the markings. And then you'll notice, here they go. Here's the illustration showing you how to do it here. I'm just going to keep going. This goes all the way to G to show you how to mark this motor.
Nice.
So right, all the way to right there. That's to the end of it right there. And those are your final readings right there.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, and I tell people, go look and see if they're going to show you all this stuff. And I mean, you can just sit here and just go on and on with this. This thing is, this troubleshooting chapter, I think this more than likely is probably going to be one of our biggest selling chapters just by itself because of the information that's here.
So the one thing that I notice when I look at like all your publications, it's all designed by experience, you know?
Oh, and yes, it is.
That is the number one thing that all these other publications, that's the number one thing they're lacking. Like, I think it's awesome, like, seeing a guy, like, master the NEC, all these other guys out there that are, like, trying to, you know, promote their product and they're trying to, like, build stuff, but they don't have any experience. And you could tell they're like, oh, what if you just increase that breaker by 6 amps? It's like, no, you're not going to increase that breaker by 6 amps, you know?
Well, like, if there's like, something
it's
like
engineered from the beginning. You can't just do it in the middle of your podcast and change shit, you know?
Yeah, well, if there's something like that we want you to know, we'll put a note, a design tip or a testing tip in this case of what you need to look at, or in this case, troubleshooting tips, what we call it. And those are all through the publication. Now, the cool thing about this is, and this is once again, as an instructor, you're an instructor, you can come right here to part 2 and you can go there, or I can, well, I want to be at part 2. And then I'm going to look here, and right up through here, is where you got everything set up, and looky there. Troubleshooting motor windings and components. You can get right there with your students. It'll take you there. And what were we looking at there? You'll see all your headings here and everything that you need to look at. And we said testing other leads for the Delta motors, marking the leads. Here's the illustrations. So
and one thing you're gonna look at is that this is kind of crucial. Like when you look at King James's illustration with like his meter in there, that's gonna be crucial to communicating with your team that you don't have to have that brand of meter. Like a lot of people take that as like, hey, I gotta have this brand of meter, you know. I don't even know what brand of meter that is. It could be a Fluke, whatever.
Look at this. We're showing you how to do this, and look, we're telling you on this is the voltmeter. You should be getting this reading as a voltage. Then once you know you're
but I don't want anybody to get construed that you have to use that brand of meter. Like you can use any brand of meter you want, you know.
No. Yeah, that's just one that matter of fact, I've got all kinds of different type of meter. I'll show you a couple here in a second. But look here, we get in the final readings. We're telling you what that final reading should look like in that meter. It should be 460 volts.
Yeah.
So that and I'll show you some.
And just to keep everyone on the same page, that's 460 volts nominal. So it could be 480, it could be 488, it could be 470, it could be whatever, as long as it's larger than 460.
Oh, you want to see something else that's cool?
If it's less than 460, you got problems. Something's happening.
I'm going to show you all something else cool. And I'll tell you, go look and see if you can find this. This is where we get into motors, and we actually show you how to do fire pumps. So say here's your fire pump. We'd show you the secondary currents here where you have the locked rotor current, the full load current, and other loads and everything. And then right here, we show you how to go in and calculate it, where you have overcurrent protection for a separate drive system to it. And you go back, there's one with a separate drive system. Here's one without it, and we're showing you how to calculate it there for sizing your overcurrent protection device. And that's set up to make sure that motor will continuously run. Basically, that overcurrent protection device is going to hold. The motor will burn up before it trips. And then we tell you and see, this is another thing that's different about our program. Okay, this is where Bill was talking about experience. You know, if you look up there, we tell you when was it that where did the 600% come from? It come from the 1996 NEC and previous editions of NFPA 20. That's where it comes from.
Right.
So you don't have to take my word for it. We're telling you the time it was there and the other standards that you need to review if you want to see where this information comes from. And those are just things that we talk about to show people. And then here, look, we show you how to size the conductor.
Just to remind you, James, all of our public inputs were laughed at in the NEC.
Of course they were.
And I was like, I'm glad, because I wrote them to be laughed at, and so, you know what I mean? Then they were laughed at and then passed. Yep. You know, like really? You laughed at them and then passed them right after you laughed at them? Like, to me, like, I can't make that up, bro. That's not something I can make up, but I don't know.
Well, one of the good things is when you're looking at this stuff here is there's a lot of information here, but the great thing is once we get all this done with the online course, every cycle you're going to have access to probably around 200 different options. And so basically what it's going to do, it's going to meet all budgets. Now, another thing that I'm going to do is I'm also going to do these in a package deal. So I'll take a few, like I'll take say I'm here in the publications here, and I may come in here and I'll say, all right, I'm going to put the design in here, the generator transform motor, the grounding, and the lightning protection as a group. And I'll
Yeah,
take that.
I'm
And
not really happy with that. Like personally, like the way you need to do it is be like, hey, do you want yellow, red, and orange? Do you want orange, purple, and red? You know, like you have to do it in colors because you set it up that way, so you're gonna die by that blame right there.
well, the thing is, it'll still look like that in the package. It'll just
Right.
it'll be, if you want 4 publications, it'll be much cheaper, because I'll probably take off, say, 25% or something if you buy all 4 of them.
Well, I really think that you owe me a little bit of percentage discount from, a little bit of code changes getting gypped. But at the same time, I really think that this is like a really cool way to do it because you can actually isolate like what you feel that you need improvement in. And, this is a big deal. Honestly, James, there's guys that are like, hey, I don't know calculations. And then I'm like, okay, here's the calculation. And then they're like, okay, I know calculations now, Like, it's that simple. Like, you just have to sit down and explain it to them, and then, boom, they know it, And you do a great job at that. That's one of the big ups that I always say from King James is you just take your time to explain it, to be like, hey, you're overthinking this. You're making it harder than it has to be,
Well, one of the good things is, and this can be even for inspectors, it can be for anybody, maintenance, I don't care who you are. Just say that you wanted to go out and you're out on there and you can't remember how to calculate something. Guess what? All you got to do is have your username, password log in right there. Go look for it in the publication, and it's there showing you how to do it step by step.
Yeah, usually what we run into out there in the field is where it's like, okay, it could go 2 ways and both ways are wrong.
Yeah. Well,
so you just have to roll with the punches on those ones.
I think when people see what they can do with this and follow along, I mean, it's pretty incredible,
I'm actually honored to be doing this podcast with you because I know that you're continuing on your dad's legacy and everything, and I think that what you're doing is freaking awesome. And like I say, I honestly, I've always been impressed. I've always been floored off my frame, and I just try to like keep up with you as best I can.
Well, one of my favorite things in all this is the publications, and I'll tell you why. We spend a lot of time, and people don't realize how long it takes to go through and do all the heading and all that stuff. But in order to have that type of interactivity in the publications and be able to just go to chapter, then go to the topics and things like that back and forth, that is a highly intuitive, interactive publication. And
unless you see something that's just a little bit better, which could be coming. I don't want you to get a big head on that one.
The thing that's cool about it is not only can you do that, but just, and I'll show you here, because this is, it really is, it's one of my favorite things in here. But just say I was looking at grounding, I'll just go there.
Oh, I thought grounding and bonding was your favorite thing in there.
Well, my favorite is this right here, the discuss tab. Because right here is, no matter what you're going through here, I mean, you can just get back up here wearing lightning protection, let's say, and I'm looking at information technology equipment, and you want to post something, and maybe you want to post something to where this type of device is. All you got to do is put it in here. You want to show a picture of it. I can tell you ours looks pretty close because it's got all the labels on it and everything. I mean, there was a lot of time spent on these illustrations. But the cool thing is, everybody can interact here. And as an instructor, if you have individual students and you want that class separate like that, you've got all this interactivity to go back and forth. But as an instructor, you actually have a presentation that's already set up for you here. Everything is self-contained into one site. And
Yeah, I 100% agree, but I hear that there's a better program out there called Jeremy's Whiteboard. I don't know if
yeah,
it works that good or not, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, there could be something better. It's just I'm not trying to like bust your balls on it. I just, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want you to be surprised if it comes up. You know
well, I
that.
can tell you, I've been sweating over here for years, worrying myself to death, and I actually had to go to the hospital, and they had to give me fluids and stuff to help me out. So,
They were called not my content posts or not my
yeah.
content fluids.
But
Uh,
the thing is, all joking aside, I I really feel, one of the things when I started this process and putting this learning management system together for the last 5 years was to try to make it as intuitive as possible to help the people in the electrical industry. That honestly was my main goal, and I think I got pretty close. I honestly, I bought business programs and all these other online courses and stuff that didn't even have anything to do with anything I wanted to learn. I spent, God, I don't even, I'd say I probably spent at least $20,000 just going through all different types of courses that were out there. And the reason I was going through them is because I wanted to see what type of interactivity was out there and what I could do to make a better program than, with everybody combined. And
I
that's how I
actually
came up
think
with all this.
I actually think that you 100% nailed it because just the fact that at the time when we were doing this, there was a lot of platform switching kind of stuff and like people not trusting different platforms and like now we're on like Rumble, YouTube,
Yep.
like we're on all these different platforms and the whole thing is it's like it's a different world now than it was back then. Like, I mean, we're basically fast forwarding at least 3 years
Hmm.
from me and you actually going, "Hey, let's freaking tear this shit up." And the thing that's funny is like we tore it up, and of course they're not gonna be happy with us. Like
Never.
of course they don't like when somebody comes in and just starts tearing shit up. But at the same time, it's like what we did was like revolutionary. It's always gonna be revolutionary. Like nobody's gonna be able to copy us because it's just uncopyable. Like when you look at like the myth of the week, when you look at like your topic of the week, when you look at like our segments, like tool, all this stuff, the way we set it up for our podcast, there's no way they could imitate us. And that's fine. I don't care. Like I'm honored. Like if somebody like copies my topic and puts it on their podcast, like Paul does a lot. I'm
Hmm.
fine with that. I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for taking my topic and putting it on your podcast. That's awesome. But at the same time, it's like I'm challenged to like take it to that next level and try to like make it better the next time. And just not make it
Hmm.
just so generic. You know. Um, and
Well,
that's what's so cool about us doing this the way we did it and making Facebook groups, making pages, making all this stuff to where everyone can interact and they can tell us, hey, you're wrong or you're right or whatever. I don't care.
you
Either
know,
way,
I'll give you a good
it's fun for me.
example. Just look at uh, uh, how much we've changed since the first time we did a podcast and the way it looks now compared to the way it did when we started. It is
Oh yeah,
it completely did a full 360.
true.
And
100%. I mean, 180, 360, 720. You're 100% right. Like the thing is that we learned off ourselves, off doing our own thing. You know,
That's right.
like we learned, like, oh, hey, maybe you shouldn't have a whistle in your podcast. You know,
Yeah.
like I mean that was on you kind of because like you had like a little whistle on your end. You know, in the beginning,
Had to
and
get better
everyone's like,
headphones.
yeah, whatever. But at the same time, it's like it didn't matter to me. I've actually set up my whole entire podcast studio and plugged it in, and it wasn't much different, you know. It sounded a little bit better, but not much, like not enough to, you know, spend all that time doing it. But at the same time, it's like when I look at like what we produce for the electrical industry from podcasts and you know going to this is actually going to go to my Nat King Code podcast. It's really fun because I listen to him during the day and I go, wow, I was like, man, King James really actually knew what he was talking about when it comes to, you know, Texas college football, you know? But then there's certain other things where you're like, ah, man, you know, maybe he didn't know about Notre Dame taking the national championship this season, you know? So it's just certain things that we have to like kind of look at, make sure that we know what's going on. But you know, it could be fictional, whatever. But it's just things that we have to kind of look at, you know, to make sure we know what we're talking about. And you know, like I say, I'd like to see Texas make it all the way, but at the same time, I don't know. I think every team is gonna play like champions that day.
I think it's going to be hard to get because all the teams in there are pretty good. I mean, on any given Saturday, any one of those teams could step up and bite you. I mean, you got to bring it every week.
It's gonna be tough. I'd like to see Texas step it up hardcore, but they're really gonna have to. Maybe not so much against Indiana, but I don't know. Indiana's a tough team, man. I mean, they got a lot of weapons, you know.
Well, they're playing Notre Dame first.
Yeah.
I mean, you
We'll
got
see.
Indiana, Notre Dame. The other one I'm looking forward to seeing is Tennessee and Ohio State. And I think SMU Penn State's going to be a good game. I mean, I'm actually really looking forward to this playoff. I really am. I think it's going to be freaking awesome.
Because Texas didn't get a bye, did they?
No, Texas plays this coming Saturday. They play against Clemson.
That's right.
Whoever
That's what I was thinking.
They beat Clemson, then they play Arizona State, and then whoever wins between Ohio State and Tennessee plays Oregon. Whoever wins between SMU and Notre Dame plays Boise State. And whoever wins between Notre Dame and Indiana plays Georgia.
Oh, yeah. So Daniel's up on it, man. Right on, Daniel. He's like, Texas beats Clemson and Arizona State.
I think they're going to beat them, and it's who they're going to play is going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohio State goes through it, but I'll say this: if Ohio State, if they lose to Tennessee, Ryan Day's getting fired. I just believe that's going to happen. I think he's getting fired if he loses to Oregon again. But I think he's got to get through those two. Them losing to Michigan this year, I'm going to tell you what, he is on the hot seat. Then I've heard a lot of fans were unhappy with it. And but, you know, I think the chancellor gave him a vote of confidence, but we'll see.
They can't be that big of crybabies. I don't know.
Be surprised. Hey, DJ,
honestly,
Daniel, what did you think of the learning management system, brother? Or anybody else out there?
I don't even think he's been on there yet. Like, do you have a link?
No, I mean just showing it. No, I'm going to post the link.
You should put like a link in the chat.
I might post it Thursday. Matter of fact, I may do a little bit, make that my topic of the week, going over it one more time and post the link in the chat and everything.
Okay.
And just set that up for Thursday also. And then I won't spend a ton. It'll just be a quick tutorial showing them, and then I'll post the link. And I want to make sure when I do it, I want to post the link there, but I also want to directly post the link to the practice exam. That'll be there.
And you could actually put the link in the actual podcast description too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I've already taken, just sitting here, which I'm about to do, but I have the October one that was there. I can tell you right now, I just went over there and I put it in draft mode. So when you go over there now, you're not going to see it. I've got to change, to January and all that. So when January 1st comes up, we will post the groups and stuff on New Year's Day that there's access to the NEC death match for the January questions, and everybody have a month to do it. And we'll start.
I thought you were going to have practice. I thought you were going to have a practice thing.
I am. It's already on there.
All right.
When you go over,
so let you know, Daniel, it's coming.
Yeah, it'll be there. No, it's already on there. Once I post the link for everybody, you go over, you can get it, and start practicing. I've got it 5 questions with 1 calculation problem. You got 30 minutes to do it. Just and I put it at a decent time. I think 30 minutes you should be able to do that. And if you know the code, you'll be able to do it in probably 15.
If you get them all right, Daniel, then I can guarantee it's rigged.
Yeah, and I've got to do a write-up about it and everything. I'm going to have a write-up, and, if you went outright first place, it's $1,000. If not, then it gets split if there's ties, and stuff. But we'll have if there's a tie, we'll do one more test, and it'll go for the whole month when people get time that are involved in it, and it'll be really hard.
Just giving you guys a heads up. The special question is, what is Oprah's favorite color? But like I say, it's a really hard tiebreaker. But like I say, King James doesn't even know. Like I already know all the tiebreakers, but I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But like I say, anytime you need a tiebreaker, just let me know, because I'll come up with something that you don't even know. So then that way it makes it even. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants to be rigged. Like Daniel always says, rigged. So you know what I mean.
I will tell you, by Thursday I'll have it ready to go. The only thing I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get it ready and everything, but through the site and everything, there's a thing that I'm looking at doing, and it's where you get in to the site domain. I've got to figure out, but I need to do the CNAME DNS, and I got to figure out how to set that in and everything. But it'll still link to the exact same stuff. I just got to figure out how to do it. There's a lot of things I've got to do in the next 3 days, just going through the site, getting it, buttoned up, ready, getting it to the accounts and setting all that up. I mean, there's just a lot of things I have to do, and it will be set up. I've got to do some linking for the LinkedIn and Facebook and all that stuff, and other ones that I've added. I've got to add those in, and it's just tedious work. Just a whole bunch of stuff I have to do to get it completely buttoned up, ready to go, and everything. So, but come first year, I'm telling you, it's coming, baby. There's no doubt about it.
I'm so glad. I'm so excited that we're doing this. so freaking awesome. Like I say, I'm surprised we haven't seen David Englehart show up tonight because I know he's chomping at the bit for
Well,
it.
he'll be there Thursday, so that's why I was going to do it, because I know it's a weekend and everybody's doing things, so I figured we'll have this tonight because we had people on Rumble, and I was looking, and also on LinkedIn.
Dude, we had 3 people live over on Rumble tonight. Like, dude, that's awesome. Big shout out to you guys on Rumble.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right,
thank you
let's
so
wrap
much.
it up. I got up early today and I went and played golf. Yesterday I had to go to my daughter's studio and be Santa Claus for all the kids and stuff. And Santa had to do yoga and stuff with the kids. I'm just going to tell you.
Dude, I knew you were going to sell out.
That way.
I knew you were going to sell out. I knew it. I had a feeling you were going to sell out and just one day be Santa Claus. But
well, my granddaughter calls me Jaw. It's short for James. She's Jaw. And so grandkids all call me Jaw. And I was sitting there, she kind of laughed, and she goes, "You're Jaw." I said, "No, I'm not." I tried to keep from laughing, but she was like, "I know it's you, Jaw." I said, "No, I'm saying it." And she goes, she wanted her mom, she goes, "That's Jaw." And she goes, "No, it isn't." She goes, "Yes, it is. That's Jaw." That's like,
dude, it was funny. My niece, she's like my youngest niece. Like, she just turned 6, and she opened her present, and she just like opened her presents and just like, okay, open present, and just hand it off. Like, she didn't care what it was,
mm-hmm.
And she opened her present, and she's like, "Oh, it's closed," and she handed it to my brother, and I was like, "Oh, she just said she got hosed." And, it's so funny. Like, everyone just started busting up laughing because they're like, "Yeah, you get hosed when you get closed," you know what I mean? But it was just so funny because, like I say, it's when you get presents and everything, it's really awesome to be like, hey, this kid really needs shoes, kid really needs, Broncos jersey to go to the playoffs with, and that kind of stuff, it's like the essentials, it's like the must have, you know what I mean? Like, so, we'll see, on our next podcast, I should have my new Broncos jersey. I'm really stoked about it, but
awesome.
I have a certain too, the new Broncos jersey coming, should have it by Thursday. We'll never know, but, like I say, really awesome. Thanks so much for putting these together. King James, appreciate you. And like I say, I'm really glad you didn't have a chance to put me on the hot seat. Daniel was waiting. And like I say, I told you, Daniel, he wasn't going to be able to do it. He couldn't fool us. So, like I say, we'll continue to keep you on the hot seat, sir.
We'll see when we get to those questions in the death match.
We'll see what happens. One of the things that was really funny, just as an ending note, there's people that were talking smack the last time, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna crush it. We have all these electricians. We're all in a band. We're all gonna answer them together, and we're gonna smash it." And I was interested. I was like, "Oh, cool. They're probably getting 95%." Nope. 45%,
Sure did.
And it was just funny, and then they were even talking smack, and then King James was like, "Oh, is this the one?" And you pulled it up, and it was really funny, and
showed them the section and everything. It
was really funny. And like I say, we're not doing this to smack talk anybody.
Oh no,
it's just for fun.
It's like I said, when they did, I said that song come on. "Hello, darkness, my old friend." It's nice to see you again.
100%. But we do this for total fun, and thanks so much for making this special podcast tonight, James. Thanks so much to everyone playing fantasy with me. Sorry that you all get losses tonight on NFL, but I'm 4-0, baby. I won every single one tonight, so it's a lot of fun. I appreciate doing it, and like I say, screw you, Tyreek Hill, you're never getting drafted by me again. But like I say, I still somehow won, even though I had Tyreek Hill. He got like 5 points or something like that. But
Bad day.
um,
Bad day at the
yeah,
office.
yeah, it is what it is. But I worked around it, and like I say, I really appreciate it. You guys always go and check out Stallcup Electrical Education channel. It's a lot of fun for us doing this. Um, and no, actually, Daniel actually played the Ravens D and actually crushed on the Ravens D. I think they had like 9 points or something. And Broncos D, I don't think did that bad either. I haven't looked to see. Broncos D actually probably did okay. Like that intercept to the end. Like somebody said on my fantasy, it was really funny that they lost a game by like .2 because Broncos intercepted one at the last end of the game. But I haven't had that happen to me yet. I still won by like a lot, but I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know, Daniel. I'll send you a text, and like I say, don't be caught on your phone bullshitting Daniel with fantasy football because I will throw you under the bus. So
All right, let's wrap it up. I'm ready to
yeah,
get
yes
some
sir.
rest. I'm tired today. I got up early today, went and played golf. I'm freaking exhausted.
Yeah, Cowboys gotta win today. So King James is happy, and like I say, all he needs is a couple more wins from the Longhorns, and he'll turn his logo right side up.
Not staying like that. I may put an extra one on there.
All right, brother. No, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you, and appreciate everyone for joining us. And y'all have a great night.
Amen. Everybody, we'll see some of y'all tomorrow for Monday morning coach. So,
And remember, make every day an easy day.
amen. Enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll see some of y'all Monday and some of y'all Thursday. Peace
Deuces.
out.